Welcome to another episode of Mrs. Z and Fifth. What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on, man? What's good? Good to be here.
Yeah, Zaccheus is here. I'm here, the Fifth General. First episode of the new year, 2019. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy late New Year.
New Year, yeah. It's good to be back.
But we're
Happy
back.
New Year.
Exactly. But we're back, and we thank everybody for listening. Shout outs to all the people who listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, our YouTube page, everything. So let's get right into it. A lot has happened since the new year. Government shutdown, still active. Good Lord.
Yep.
What everybody else is talking about, trending topic, surviving R. Kelly docuseries on Lifetime. Zach, he is getting to all the details and everything that you know about the documentary and your opinion thus far regarding the R. Kelly situation.
Well, it was maybe about a Saturday ago. I seen the documentary and on Lifetime, and I'm noticing I'm listening to these young ladies and these parents' testimonies, and I'm saying, I'm like, wow, it's a lot that we didn't know that was revealed, and what R. Kelly was being blamed for, And I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself, I'm listening to what these people are saying, and I'm like, wow. And I'm looking at it and I'm remembering the first case. In the first case, nothing happened with the first case. I think it was the first case, and then it was thrown out. Some testimonies happened, and then it was thrown out. And then all of a sudden now, Lifetime came up with this whole documentary, Surviving R. Kelly. And I said, you know what? I have to watch it. I have to know what people are talking about. I have to know what these young people are talking about, because the Me Too movement is up. And all of a sudden now, R. Kelly is on trial now for this. Not on trial like Leslie on trial, but he's the center of attention going on with the alleged sex trafficking going on in his residence. So I'm saying to myself, I'm like, man, it's a lot that needs to be. Whatever's in the dark must come out in the light. And if there's more than one person, I always usually say this: if there's more than one person saying one thing, then it's got to be true. I mean, this is my personal opinion. If once R. Kelly's case that was brought up in the beginning, remember the time when he talked about he was accused of peeing on somebody during the videotape.
Yeah,
that should have been his flag to say, you know what, I gotta stop doing what I'm doing.
Well,
he continued, and these women are just women, and I heard some of the testimonies, very crushing. If you listen to the testimonies of these people, it's really, really tough to listen to it, because it's painful that he would actually stoop that low to do that. And then he listened to his wife's testimony and how abusive he was, and how she said that she embraced, she likes R. Kelly, but she doesn't like Robert. That was deep, and it just continues to carry on, and it's just a situation where when I listened to the documentary, I said to myself, I'm like, man, I guess this is what's coming out in the light right now. This is what's coming out in the light, and some celebrities, I'm not saying no, but some people like to act like nothing can happen to them. And maybe this is a wake-up call for those who believe that nothing can happen to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me kind of do this now. Let's now break it down. So they talked about the old sex tape when, good Lord, I was in high school. This was a long time ago.
Right.
So we're talking way back when he was accused of having a sexual act with an alleged child. My thing is with this one. So this is what had this case kind of out the window, because the parents saw the tape, and the parents was like, "Yo, that's not our daughter." And then when they were talking about the girl herself, she said that wasn't her. So that's why that case got out the window. Now let's talk about his situation when they talked about the Aaliyah marriage. When he married Aaliyah, Aaliyah was what, 16
Oh
at the
yes,
time?
16,
Yes,
16, yeah.
yes. And he was 20, he was in his 20s. So
Yeah.
my thing is this, but they were also talking about the particular marriage license, the witness to the license. And my thing is, if you're upset about them being married, then you got to look at it this way. Don't just be upset with him. You got her parents. What's going on with that one? You have that situation.
Yeah.
You also have the judge or whoever who signed off on the license. So I mean,
Right.
and then the state that they got married in, the age of sexual consent is 16.
Whoa, I didn't even know. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know about. I mean, certain states won't let you get married at 16.
Right.
But the sex part, that's another question. But see, the thing is, I guess people are trying to figure this out. So the marriage license is one thing, but then the other question is, well, how long did he know her? Did he know her before that? Was he having sex with her
Right.
before that? So a lot of that happens too. And then you have this thing with him and this alleged sex dungeon or whatever the heck he got. You know, I'm saying alleged because R. Kelly is suing Lifetime. And R. Kelly released a website to counter the documentary called Surviving Lies. And
wow, he did.
Yes, he did. And he's pulling receipts out. And what I mean by receipts is him proving that these women are consensually okay with being in his keep or whatever it is. I mean, they're not prisoners. I mean, they can leave, but there's a lot of money going around. Let's talk about why let's talk about why I think this documentary is coming along. You mentioned the Me Too movement, right? Okay, R. Kelly is going on tour. But he's on tour now. I remember last year, I don't mean last year as in 2018. I'm talking last year as 2017. Remember TMZ was talking to that woman? And she was talking about how, right. So this is something from that. As far as the man being an alleged sexual deviant, I mean, that's what are we getting you on? Are we saying that what he's doing is illegal, or is what he's doing is immoral? Because that's the conversation now too. I'm not backing up R. Kelly, because if he did wrong, he did wrong. Handle that. But then I also look at Bill Cosby, and then how that situation was handled. No kids. But I look at the Bill Cosby situation. Then I think of the Harvey Weinstein situation. I was saying off air that Ashley Judd's case against Harvey Weinstein, or her testimony, whatever it is, got thrown out. The judge said, to heck with this. Why is there not a surviving Harvey Weinstein documentary? Lifetime? And then now we got some surviving Michael Jackson type of documentary on Sundance coming soon. I mean, what the heck?
Oh, that's bogus. I'm gonna just call it out like it is, because those the ones that them boys that was the parents actually blamed. They kind of wanted money from Michael to saying that Michael slept with the boys. This is not so. Those boys that are grown right now, they're grown men right now, are saying no, that did not happen. Michael did not sleep with us. Michael did not touch us. So that put as you can see, we know what they're trying to do. We know what they're trying to do.
Well, my thing is this, and I want to give respects to the brother Tariq Nasheed. What he was saying was, if they wrong, they wrong, but have that same energy with everybody else too. You know what I'm saying? Have that same energy with Kevin Spacey. Have that same energy with Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis. Who else?
Jerry Lee Lewis. Hello.
I mean, let's not give a pass for some and then crucify the others and then crucify who you want to pick. You can't just pick like that. Oh, you can pick what you want, but my whole thing is let's have it across the board. And the thing I want to say is this, is that while everybody's talking about R. Kelly You got this situation with the government being shut down. Understand that we have people who can't even work, man. And then we have people who are working without pay. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Who in the Homeland Security and who Department of Homeland Security and other federal agencies that can't work. The FDA. Do you know that the FDA people from the FDA said, look, we're not getting paid. We're not even working. So understand that a lot of this food that's in the grocery stores right now hasn't even been inspected. I saw an article that said 80% of all the things that the FDA has to approve hasn't even been checked since the shutdown. Let's talk about that too. America.
Wow.
You
Wow.
get what I'm trying to say, Zaccheus, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Is that we got major stuff going on. Major stuff. But there was a lot of money and a lot of media behind this R. Kelly documentary, man. I can care less about R. Kelly, man.
Speak it.
I care for anybody who's been a victim, though. I do care about that. I do.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then I also want to get into this. Somebody posed a question and said, why is it that all of this stuff was allowed to happen and it seems like nobody cares? Because allegedly these are black women who are talking. You know where I'm going with this.
I know where you're going.
If these women
go there.
If these women look like if they had the same complexion as Scarlett Johansson and Melania Trump, then maybe more people would be talking about that.
More, yeah, but Kelly be put on trial right now.
He'd be in jail, man. He'd be in prison if that was the case.
Speak it.
You know, and here we got men, and then we got women out there that are going through this, but we got men out there who are going through this, man. Men who have been molested by other men, by women. You know, I'm talking about boys molested, grown men being groped. I mean, remember Terry Crews? Terry Crews is a man, and he is part of the Me Too movement too.
Yeah, he been groped. Yeah, I heard he been.
You know, this man's in Hollywood being, some man's allegedly grabbing his private parts.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy.
In front of it. I mean, and his wife was there too. How dare you?
How dare you? Yeah. That's it can be very disrespectful, man. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to let you get in. I'm sorry. I just wanted to kind of say what I had to say there. Zaccheus, your turn.
Yeah, man.
What? Okay. Let's take it from this direction. We said off air that this people who have talked in the documentary, Sparkle, just so happens to timely release a single during this documentary. You mentioned R. Kelly's wife. His wife. All of this time that we've been seeing all these things happening, he's been married through all this time. She's been there all this time.
Yeah.
So the question is, what did she do all this time? What's your opinion on that?
Well, you know what? People, I mean, when people look at the documentary, they just look at her and they're just showing her sympathy. And I was like, okay, she's been in this thing, but now she's coming out and she's saying, she probably came up before and said it that, that she was abused by him and verbally abused and mentally abused and physically abused by him. Right. But now she's on this Lifetime thing, she's joining these other women and saying that R. Kelly needs to be punished. Now, I mean, it could have been a point where I don't know if she could have stopped it herself, but as herself being a victim, I guess she had to vent, and that's one way she had to vent was get on Lifetime and vent. But in the same token, I guess she can basically women that's been through this thing, but See, the thing is, this case is sticky because young girls and the young girls involved in this thing, young black women that's involved in this sex thing he got going on, young women involved. So that's what makes it tough. But you see, the thing is that what makes it even harder is that R. Kelly now is coming out. R. Kelly's coming out saying that some of these women had consent. Consent meaning that he didn't put a gun to their head and say, you know what, you staying, I'm holding you hostage. Mm-hmm. But now some of these women are saying this. So there's a whole big case going on here. There's a whole case going on. And puts out this documentary. I want to see it. I really want to see it. See if we got receipts for this and saying that there was consent. Because I didn't know that at age 16 that you're allowed to do, you're more treated like an adult.
Certain states allow the age of sexual consent. I don't know. Not every states are different with marriage, but certain states have certain sexual consent rules. It's weird, but at 16, some of them do. 17, and then we know 18 you're grown. 18 you're grown. Like, that's the law.
You're grown, yeah.
I think a lot of people are saying, can we do this a little differently? Can we have this same outrage when a 16-year-old gets trialed as an adult? When a 16-year-old can go to war but can't drink alcohol? So we have that too. We have that conversation too.
Yeah.
I'll let you go again because I'm gonna get into something too. I'm gonna ask you a question, man. So, and then I'll kind of answer it too, but I'll pose a question. Do you think that when Sparkle got a single, right? So a lot of people are saying, well, who's financing this documentary? Because that has a lot to do with it too. Disney owns Lifetime now, or something like that. I think they own Lifetime now. So now we're talking about who's behind. They were saying that people behind the scenes have their own dirt too.
Right.
So John Legend was under fire because of what he said. Well, actually, it's not so much that he was under fire, but some people pull receipts on him and was like, yo, how can you call R. Kelly a rapist or a molester or whatever, or a pedophile, and then you up there and you and Chrissy Teigen got a picture with Harvey Weinstein? And, and John Legend was, the plot thickens. And then, John Legend was basically saying, yo, this was before I even knew what was going on. But shout outs to Dame Dash. Dame Dash said he knew what was going on with Harvey Weinstein a long time ago. He didn't want to deal with him. After he found out what happened the first time, in the Weinstein Company, he released one of his movies with the Weinstein Company, which is a film production company that him and his brother owned. And when they found that receipt for Dame had said, hey, on Nick Cannon's podcast, Cannon's Class, he basically was saying, look, after that I found out, and then I didn't deal with him no more. So a lot of people are trying to figure this out. They're like, okay, it's the whole glass houses mentality. So I'm sorry, this was kind of a long-winded point that I got to, but I just wanted to kind of bring it to where my question is. So, do you think the people who were part of the documentary and denied the talk of the documentary, have their own dirt?
I believe that they do. Because to me, I look at this documentary and they really make R. Kelly look like a monster.
Yes.
Look, they make that man look like a serial killer. I'm just saying. Yeah,
the documentary was like watching the first 48. It was like watching an episode of Law and Order SVU or an episode of the first 48.
Yeah, or America's Most Wanted.
There you go.
So he who has the first story, it's like,
Right.
okay, a lot of us like I don't. A lot of us like, well, I'm gonna speak for myself. I can speak for you too. Like, we know we wouldn't speak to the little girls and deal with little girls like that. But the thing is that I believe, this is what I believe, that some parents, I'm not saying no, but some parents give the green light because they felt that R. Kelly was an icon.
Yep.
And they can get there in the music industry.
He's rich.
To make us, because some people do want to become a star.
Right.
And some people want the kids to become a star.
Right.
And some of the females thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they felt that R. Kelly can get them there.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly got Aaliyah there.
Yeah.
So they figured that,
he wrote songs for. He wrote. Age ain't nothing but a number.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know if you've written back and forth, but yeah.
No, he probably wrote that too. That's old Jive Records.
Yeah. So the thing is that
Her first album, he wrote that. After that was Timberland. Yeah.
It happens when you are hungry.
Mm-hmm.
To a lot of people, that when you're hungry, trying to make it in the industry,
and desperate,
and you're desperate, and you look desperate, so you run with any. So R. Kelly's a big name, so you get excited. You're like, wow, R. Kelly wants to work with me. R. Kelly wants to hear me sing. Yeah, you're gonna get excited, especially females. You're gonna get excited. You're gonna get excited because listen, he's great at the music business. Mm-hmm. He's a New Jack Swing era legend. He's a Piper R&B. So okay, yeah, he got hits under his belt and everything. But they get excited, and that's the thing. We're not saying that okay, he's right for what he's done. He's wrong for what he's done. If he did do all these things that a lot of the women said he did, mm-hmm. he's wrong, and yes, he should be punished. Yeah. He should be punished. Yeah. But we also saying that you should not be so eager. First, always know what you're getting into. Don't be so eager to send your kids off to artists or send your kids off to certain things. Always do your investigation. Always be mindful and careful.
Listen,
to where you bring your kids,
Corey Feldman and a couple other child star actors said from the beginning years ago on Barbara Walters' show. I'm trying to figure out where the Me Too movement was then. Yeah. He said about he was personally molested, and he saw other kids be sexually molested by a lot of people in the filming industry and everything. And the entertainment industry overall is just a nasty industry, man. This is why I encourage people to create their own lane, okay?
Yeah, it is.
And Barbara Walters said on The View a long time ago, you're destroying, because he did a documentary years ago, and she said to him, and he's a victim, Zaccheus, mm-hmm. She said, you're destroying a multi-million-dollar industry. Really? So she cared more about the industry than she did about this young man. He was a kid. How do you say that to him?
Exactly. You see, R. Kelly, R. Kelly's been exposed.
The video's on YouTube for people to see. I want everybody to Google or YouTube, whatever. Corey Feldman interview on The View with Barbara Walters. I mean, it'll pop up. Go ahead, Zaccheus.
You see what it is? Okay, they're getting the brothers and they're airing them out. Bring up Michael Jackson. They're airing us. They're airing them out. And then like, okay, but there's a lot of inside stuff that goes on in the industry that is not exposed.
Exactly.
Okay, R. Kelly's getting exposed. And you want to expose Michael, but I think it's bogus.
Yeah, Michael's dead.
Michael's is a humanitarian, and I believe that they was trying to get Michael because of what he done in the music industry. Hello, I'm gonna speak
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna speak it.
Yes.
I'm gonna speak it. He bought the Beatles catalog. He's done Michael has break barriers. He broke into MTV with his videos. He's done things, and they hated, and for some apparent reason, the supremacy hated that.
Yeah.
Michael spoke the truth and said they're gonna get him, and because of that, now they was trying to get Michael a long time ago.
Yeah.
But these boys that the parents that accuse Michael of molesting their boys, these boys are not coming out saying that Michael didn't do it. Leave Michael alone. Let the man rest in peace.
Michael, here's my thing about Michael. It looked very bad, and he really should have listened to his family, especially LaToya. It's kind of shaky with the LaToya thing because LaToya put him on blast years ago. Remember that when she said, "What 35-year-old man has little kids who was not his sleeping in the bed with him?" Now she didn't say sex; she just said sleeping in the same bed as him. Michael said that he shared his bed as well. The problem with Michael is this: Michael's a grown man. Michael is not thinking about how bad that sounds to the public. Michael was looking at it this way. Michael was looking at it like, well, I ain't doing anything inappropriate with them. So, what do I need to be afraid of? But the perception that he was oblivious to that. And Michael is so much of a big kid that it didn't register with his mind.
That's what it is.
The problem is Michael had yes men around him. That's the problem. I'm not giving Michael a pass. But if you're truly Michael Jackson's friend, you would have told that man, we know you ain't doing nothing wrong, well, at least from what I can see, but man, you can't be having these kids up in here. Not without their parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you don't want nobody saying nothing. This is why I'm careful. This is why you're careful. And men who think like me and you are careful. It's more than just what you did or not did. It's about what people say you did. And then if you have that appearance that it looks, that you can't even go with the look of it looking like that. Because if it looks bad, people will think it. And they'll say it.
Yes.
That's why you got to stay. You got to stay. The Bible says stay away from the appearance of evil. Now I'm using that as example to say, if you're having all right, if you're a grown man, don't have no sleepovers with just don't have sleepovers with kids. All right.
Yeah, I think. I think
you get the point I'm making.
Like you said before. Exactly. What you said before, Michael is a huge kid. I don't know him, but we're just assuming.
Right.
Because the thing is that he's a huge kid. Mike would marry a woman and then live far away from her.
Yeah.
Mike would put his hands. This is stories about Mike. Michael Jackson would put his hands on his mouth. And every time a woman wants to get intimate with him, and he'll giggle like a little kid.
Yeah, he was very shy.
That's
trauma, though. That's trauma. I think Michael. Oh Lord, I don't know what happened. But I wonder if this documentary is going to tell us that Michael was sexually abused somehow, because R. Kelly confessed that he was. Now that doesn't give Sadly, that doesn't give the person who's been abused a right to do it too, because that has happened with a lot. And then those who've been abused didn't abuse nobody back. So let me not say that just because you've been touched means you're gonna touch somebody. But there's ones who have and the ones who haven't, and they live with this trauma every day. But I just want to know this: Corey Feldman warned y'all a long time ago about the industry. So you know what I'm going to title this episode? I'm not going to title this episode Surviving R. Kelly. I'm going to title this Surviving the Entertainment Industry.
Hello.
If you're gonna get one, get them all. The same energy, this world, the same energy America got in other countries with helping track down former Nazi soldiers during the Holocaust. No matter how old they are, they get them and lock them up. Keep that same energy with the rest of the entertainment industry that does dirt. Zaccheus, we're gonna end the show, but Zaccheus, if you have anything more to say before we go, I'm gonna give you the last word, okay?
Okay. The industry is full of wolves. The industry will swallow you up, and there's a lot of artists that speak about it. I can name a few. DMX speaks on it. Michael Jackson, he spoke on it. Who else speak on it? Katy Perry spoke on it. Rihanna spoke a little bit on it. Yeah. The list of artists goes on and on. You have to, in some cases, in this industry, I'm talking for those who want to really embrace the industry hard. Sometimes you sell your soul just to get to that point, to get to that plateau, that stardom, world stardom. Sometimes some of us have to sell our soul, and I emphasize it and I mean it, because now the Me Too movement is what it's doing is exposing whatever was in the dark in the past is being exposed. Meaning that industry since the 60s, sexual favors. Oh, I'll get you a point in that role, but first you got to do this to me. It was called what's the brother name? Charlemagne the God said, rape culture back then. Do things and say things to a woman, and it was probably swept under the rug, or it wasn't really paid attention to. Now they're trying to, and I can see who they're pulling the card on. The brothers, I see it. We see it. If we see it, I see it. You see it. You know, isn't it not like R. Kelly's not the only one? This is going on. It's going on in many cases. Is going on. There's just sexual favors. There's just certain things that you got to do just to get to certain points in your life. It's all wrong. And if R. Kelly's wrong, he's wrong. It's all wrong. You know, it's a talent, yes, but it's more than the talent. Sacrifice to get. What do you want to sacrifice? Are you want to make that sacrifice to get to that plateau that you need?
All right, Zaccheus, where can they reach you?
You can reach me at facebook.com/Wayne Zaccheus Bacchus. Also on Twitter, on Twitter at Wayne Bacchus 2 on Twitter. Also, you can reach me on Instagram, Zaccheus B73 Wayne Bacchus on Instagram. Hit me up, y'all.
All right, you can reach me at the Fifth General on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All right, we're gonna get up out of here. This is Zaccheus and the Fifth General signing off. We'll see y'all next time. We'll see y'all next time, all right?
All right, y'all.
Peace. Mrs. Z and Fifth, we out.
Peace.
Peace.
We out. Peace.